fellow stitchers, it's Lisa here again with a very belated October update for you guys. That is down to a couple of different reasons. Firstly, we've just been completely flat out at work. It's always the same, I guess, with many companies towards the back end of the year. You start ramping up to close out the year strong, and you're very much thinking about the start of the new year as well. So we are mega busy at the minute, as are many others as well. So that has had a knock-on impact on my stitching. And secondly, I have been not well this month. Couple of things. Firstly, I went away on a manager's meeting at the beginning of October and spent the entire time, almost a week, in London in bed, sick in my hotel room, while the rest of my colleagues in the company had their meetings going on downstairs, which was not good. I mean, you really don't want to go away with work and spend it in your hotel room with a gastric bug. Not at all good. Unfortunately, I gave it to my manager as well, so my boss came down with it after me. So obviously I felt really bad that I'd given that to her, but also secondly, not glad, but a bit vindicated that she knew how sick I had been, because the last thing you want any company to think is that you're chilling out in your room and watching TV and things like that. So no, that really wasn't the case. I really was ill. And then secondly, towards probably the third week of October, I suffer really badly with migraine, and have done for a number of years, but they've got progressively worse. So I don't get a migraine which will last a few hours and I go to bed and it goes. It's not like that for me. I can have these migraines for a week or more, and no amount of medication, rest, sleep will actually get rid of them. And to be honest, it's really now affecting me in every way. So it's affecting my ability to do my multiple hobbies, it's affecting my mental well-being, it's affecting my ability to do my job to the best of my ability. We do a lot of computer work, and sometimes I can't even look at the laptop screen. It just hurts my eyes so much. So I have an appointment tomorrow with my local GP, my general practitioner, who I'm hoping will refer me to a neurologist tomorrow, and well, not tomorrow, but will refer me tomorrow, and I'll get this issue resolved, because it's a quality of life thing for me now, and it's just so debilitating. And I know a lot of you guys from your uploads have mentioned about the fact that you suffer with migraines as well. So you know, my heart goes out to anybody who has this, because unless you do, I just don't think you appreciate the knock-on effect on your life. So that aside, and obviously excuses laid on the table, I mean, I have made some progress on my pieces, not as much as I would have liked, but then I guess we're all critical of what we actually produce, aren't we, when we do these updates. So my first update for you is one of my Heaven and Earth designs. It is my Maxine Gadd piece, and it is Darkness Falls, and I'll put the picture in for you now so you can see what the completed design looks like, and also where I was last month when I completed my end of September update for you. So I'll put those in for you now, and this is where I am now. So just trying to get that into shot for you. You can see that I've completed another page here. So we're just about to get into the girl's hair now. So there's a lot more confetti starting to come through now. So a lot of this background piece, although not straightforward, is not as confetti heavy as some of the other parts of it. So I'm expecting now, as I move into this page here now, that my progress may slow a little bit. So all in all, not bad. There's not much detail in there in terms of picture to show you, because it really is just, I guess, the side of this creepy follower's face, and then the background behind her. So hopefully next time, as I complete a bit further this way, you'll see some more detail starting to come through there. But really nice piece, and I'm enjoying stitching on this. I'm enjoying the progress that I've been making. Probably spent 2 weeks, I would say, on this project, and still this probably will remain my focus piece. I mean, I don't see me stitching just a week on this every month. I'm not going to get that far, so probably we'll spend through November you know, another couple of weeks on this as I go. So that is my Darkness Falls piece. I mean, I suppose that's the thing with some of the projects that I've selected. I do like my Heaven and Earth designs, and this is a problem I've mentioned before in one of my first videos. It's the kind of what I'm going for more now than ever. And you've seen my stash upload that I put up just under a week ago, and you can see some of the designs that I've got there. Some great stuff that I want to get finished, and I did say that, but there's also the Mirabilia ladies in there, and I'm just like, well, I prefer the Heaven and Earths over the Mirabilia ladies at the minute, and that might change, I'm not sure, but you know, as I get through the video, you'll see that I've kind of fallen down the rabbit hole a little bit in terms of going on the sites when they've had the sales on the Heaven and Earth design, and picking up patterns as I've gone throughout the last few months. So yeah, I'll kind of explain myself a little bit more when I get to that point. So that's the Heaven and Earth Darkness Falls piece. The second piece, and this was almost a finish, and I wanted this finished this month and in October, and didn't quite get there, and I'll explain why. But this is my Gorjuss girl, and this is for my niece Olivia, and I'll insert the picture of what it looks like when she's finished. And as you can see, almost there. I got all the wording behind her, most of the detail, just really her face to put on, and then I ran out of thread on the pink. So I ran out of 2 of the pinky purple shades, and got in contact with Bothy Threads, who are the designers of this piece, and within 2 days they really kindly sent me out far more in terms of floss than I need to finish this. So big shout out to Bothy Threads for being so helpful on this. So now I have my extra floss, I can go ahead and finish this for Olivia. So this should be a finish at the end of November. And as I said, I am going to have a go at framing this myself, and seeing how that goes. You know, I'm working on the piece for my niece Ella, and this is the other one that I'm doing for her. I'll put that in for you now. And yeah, I mean, ideally it would have been really nice to have these finished for Christmas for them. In reality, I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I don't mind stitching them. It's just that I've altered the pattern that much, as I've mentioned before, and put in so many fractional stitches that they're not that straightforward. And as I said, I don't mind them, and I'm happy to do them because I'm doing them for somebody else. If it was for me, I don't think I would. Not that there's anything at all wrong with the patterns or the designs, I just like the bigger pieces, for whatever reason that is, and I don't know. And maybe it's just because I don't really have to think, I'm just following a pattern, I can just put the little crosses in and off I go, and that seems to be probably more of what I'm needing right now with me being so busy at work. I just don't need, I guess, to be thinking about other things as well. So that is my Gorjuss girl for Olivia, and that will be finished. And if I do frame it, I may put in a video of how I've done that at some point. I would like to put a framing and completion video in at some point, but we'll see. There's no big rush or anything for that. So the next piece I've worked on a little bit more this month than I did last time it's another Heaven and Earth design. It's a Zindy Nielsen piece, and it is called Keep It Safe, and I'll put a picture in of where I was and what it looks like when it's finished. Okay then, so this is where I am in terms of progress, and I have come down here and started another page, so I've done probably half of another page this month as well. So in terms of progress, doing what I've done with the Gorjuss girl, doing a page on my other Heaven and Earth, and doing half on this, it's not bad, is it, really, considering I've been sick and busy, and so I suppose I'm relatively happy with my progress for this. On the pattern picture on the website, when you download it, all of this border isn't there. And had I known really when I started stitching it, I would have modified that pattern and cut it in the way that they have done on the photo, because obviously this design is more of a portrait design, no, more of a landscape design when it's finished, but the picture that they put on the website is more portrait. So I'm stitching away reams and reams and reams of grey dark background. Obviously she'll pop when she goes in because she's so light in terms of the colours, but I just wish I'd cut out some of the border because it would have saved me so much time. So I'm getting to the point now where I've come across here and she's not there. I've done another page and there's nothing of her in it yet, and I'm just like, when is she, like, I'm going to get to the point where I'm actually stitching her and the moon and the bird and the locket and the key. So it's just a bit frustrating really, because I would have modified it, because I just don't think this is going to make that much difference to how the design's going to look when you look at the photo of the pattern in relation to this. So hey ho, I mean, it's not the end of the world, and I am enjoying it. And yeah, so the other Heaven and Earth I'm stitching, the Maxine Gadd piece, is on a 25 count linen, which I suppose it's not the major problem. The linen's more of a problem for me. I don't like the slubs in the linen. So I'm stitching this on a 22 count hardanger, which is an even weave, and that's, I suppose that's helping with the uniformity of the stitches, so you're not getting some really chunky stitches and some smaller stitches, and just the way that the fabric is. I think the more I've stitched on the Maxine Gadd piece, the more comfortable and the happier I've got with stitching on linen. And the 25 count's not bothering me in the least. My final piece, and in all fairness I'll show you, but I've done nothing on it. I couldn't because of the migraines, and it is my Save the Stitches piece, which is the Liz Almond free download, and I'll just put a picture in of where I was and what it looks like, just to give you a refresh. I'm sure everybody knows this one now. And this is where I am to date, and literally there's really nothing. In fact, I could have probably not even put this in, but I will do just for consistency. I have put in a marginal amount of the Krennic on this second block. So I was just waiting for it to stop and pick up the picture. I just couldn't stitch on this with my migraine. I couldn't concentrate on it. I mean, I was saying in one of my last updates that a couple of these blocks were giving me a bit of a nightmare in terms of following the pattern, and yeah, I just couldn't work on it. I couldn't see as I said, stitching on black didn't help, and the migraine was just, ugh, it was just horrible. And to be honest, I really wish I hadn't done this when I wasn't feeling very well, because every time I look at it, I feel not well because I know how bad I felt when I tried to do it last time. So I'm really hoping that I can actually get over that and be able to pick it back up. And I'm just going to leave it for now because I don't know, it just drove me crazy. And I think it's because I'd put myself under some pressure, because ideally what I'd like to do every month is get a block finish and have some decent progress on it. Oh, I just couldn't do it. So I'm just going to leave it, wait till I feel a whole lot better, and then come back and do some more on it, because I do want to finish it. I do like it. As I was saying before, it's something a little bit different from regular cross stitch. I just don't feel it right now, and I haven't felt it over the last month in October. So, you know, I mean, this is all about, or should be all about, it's a hobby and it's fun, you know, and I think, although uploading these videos has been brilliant for me because it's given me some accountability to work, I think, you know, what I don't want to do is start putting pressure on myself and feeling, oh my god, I've got to upload something, I've got to have something to show up, because then it will not be fun anymore. And this isn't what this is about. I mean, you know, it's much more than that. And, you know, I don't, you know, watch videos just because I want to see how somebody's progressed on a particular design. It's more than that. It's about the people behind it, isn't it? And irrespective of whether somebody has major progress or not, I'm going to watch it anyway, and I'm sure many of us are like that. So I just need to move that from the back of my mind and know that, you know, it's much more than that, the reason why people watch these uploads. So that is my progress for October. So I was saying that I've kind of fallen down the rabbit hole a little bit this month. I have throughout the last few months been on the Heaven and Earth website and seem to have fortunately caught it right at the point where they've got sales. I had one recently which was 20%, and prior to that they had 30 and 40% off. So I had a look at and bought some patterns, and I've got quite a few patterns lined up that I would love to stitch at some point, and you know, God willing, and you know, providing that everything stays the way it is, I will get round to doing as many of those as I can. Probably not all of them in this lifetime, but you know, the intention is good, and I do like them, and they are the sort of thing, as I was saying before, now that I envisage myself putting on my wall, probably more than some of the designs I've done in the past. But that's just my personal preference, and you know, we're all different, and if we weren't, you know, there would be very few patterns out there. But I have kitted up and got the fabric for Heaven and Earth designs, and I did it because really I needed very little in terms of floss, because I've got quite a significant DMC collection. Obviously you saw what I had in the past from my last video, and then obviously as I've got more into things over the last few months, I have kitted up and sorted out various projects. I mean, you know, I've got the a couple of the Clouds Factory designs kitted up. I've got the Harry Potter sampler, as you know, and obviously I'll put some pictures in of these as we go. So I've got the Harry Potter sampler, and I have got the Through the Zodiac sampler as well, which I do want to start, and I do really like. And also I've got the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, the pumpkin passport, and they've released November now. Trying to think where that was, and I can't remember. Was it Peru? Could have been Peru. So that's almost through the year-long stitch along. So there's no pressure ever to do. I'll never do a sal in terms of timings, because I just would never finish it, and I couldn't ever commit to a month of working on something to get it finished for the next pattern release coming. So that doesn't matter. I just like it, and I know I'll do it. So I've got that, and then as I was going through, there's been one design from Heaven and Earth that I saw, and it was Nikki Crafts, who had this design in one of her finished videos that she uploaded, and I just saw it and nearly fell off my chair when I saw it. And I don't know why I'd missed these, because I'm always on Heaven and Earth Design looking for artists and different designs, and I'll put the picture in for you. It is Randal Spangler's Train of Dreams. And this is one of the most popular designs on there. It's always in the top 1 or 2 pattern downloads on Heaven and Earth Designs, and never really looked at it before and loved it. And it's just the colours. Plus the other nice thing about it is it's long that way, so it's a long design, but it's actually only a page and a half deep. So in the grand scheme of things, for a Heaven and Earth design, in terms of what I'm doing and some of the patterns I've bought, is quite small, and I'm looking at it thinking, do you know what, I could actually really crack on and get some decent progress with that. So I bought that one and kitted it up, and I didn't need very much for it. Love that. And actually I came home from London. I was in a 2-day meeting in London this week. I got in last night, got in earlier than I was expecting to. We finished the meeting a bit earlier, which allowed me to get a train 3 hours earlier than I was expecting to. Got on my train, got home at the time I was expecting to leave London, and thought, right, do you know what, my stuff had arrived from so and so. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna start that. So I just put in some of the black background last night while I was just watching a bit of TV before I went to bed. So I've started that. The other piece, which I am desperate to start as well, is this one, and it is Lisa Parker's The Witching Hour, and it's gorgeous. I'm not even really a huge fan of domestic cats. I wouldn't, you know, I don't see me ever having a cat. I don't hate them, I just don't see me having one. But this design, is just something about it that is so nice. And I would like to start this at some point next year as well, which will mean, you know, I've got, what, 4 Heaven and Earths on the go. You know, but again, we talk about this, it's not about, for me, always having major projects finished. I like the process of stitching and how things start to come together, so it doesn't have to happen that quickly, and it won't with a Heaven and Earth. I mean, you know, I'm investing and starting in projects that will take me, you know, a year or two to stitch. So providing I stay where I am right now with what I've got, you know, I've got multiple things going on, but you know, I'm enjoying them all and I like them all enough to want to finish them, which is ideal. The other piece that was kitted up is Spirits of the Savannah, and I'll put a picture in that for you. And this is a Carol Cavalaris, I think that's her name. I'll have to check that, but this is the other one. This again, the colours are amazing in this. I went to South Africa on a safari. I won a sales award with a company I worked for in the past, and they took us business class, first class to South Africa, and we went on a game drive. And since then, and always really, I love wild animals, and this just reminds me of that so much. The colours are just beautiful, and I'd really, really like to start this at some point as well. And the final piece is a Chris Ortega piece, and this is Ex Machina. And I have no idea what it is about this, but I love it. And it's the colours, it's just the colours in the design, and it's just so different and so unusual that it just, the minute I saw it, I was just like, wow, I'd like to stitch that. So again, this is another one that I am really, really keen to get going on. I did look at the pattern, and this is confetti heaven. I mean, you know, most of them you start with, you know, a nice bit of simple black background before you get into it, but no, boom, straight in. It's going to be a complex piece. This is like years down the line kind of finish, but even so, it's just the colours in that. I think, you know, the selection of colours and the design itself, it just appeals to me for whatever reason that is. It just does. So that is kind of where I'm at. So I think probably that's covered what my plans are for next year, so you can see where I'm heading for next year in terms of what I'm going to do. In terms of focus pieces, it has to be around Darkness Falls, the Heaven and Earth design, and some of the pieces that I've shown you, like my Save the Stitches, providing I can get back into it, and the Zindy Nielsen, Keep It Safe. So plus obviously I've got my other piece for Ella that I'd like to get started on as well, the other Gorjuss girl. So, you know, yeah, I think really now for me it's just consolidating this. Obviously I've got a whole stash from the video that I uploaded for you earlier, so yeah, there's an awful lot of projects that I've got ongoing, but you know, for me it has to be about really enjoying it and really stitching on things that you really want to work on, and whenever that happens and when you get a feel for it, more so than anything else. So anyway, I think I've talked long enough to you, so I will say goodbye for now. I will upload again, probably, we'll see how I get on, you know, maybe mid-December, just before Christmas. There's another upload that I've got to go in, which I've already filmed. It just needs editing, and I'll be putting that in between now and my next update, so there's something else coming. And I hope to see you really soon. Now you take care, lots of love and happy stitching. Take care.